Well, today in the Lather Games is going to end up to be kind of favorites day for me. Because as it happens, the soak that I chose for today is one of my favorites. Probably my favorite from Stirling, Mountain Man. It's a duplicate of Creed Silver Mountain Water. And because it's a duplicate, that's actually what today's shave is all about for all the guys who are competing in the Lather Games. Something that's a duplicate or heavily inspired by another scent. And so that's this guy for me. And so I just started building on that, and I said I'm going to pick a cool razor that I just know once I get out of this Nacet shaving, once I reach 300 and kind of pause for a while, I'm really going to enjoy putting this open comb Wolfman Guerilla through some blades, some young blades, and I think it's going to really become a favorite of mine because I already like the solid bar Guerilla quite a bit. It's mild, but I put a sharp razor in there, a sharp blade, and wow, I just love the way it cuts. And so this guy promises to be perhaps just a little bit more aggressive than that. And I think that's going to be a great thing too. With this wonderful lather, I decided, hey, I also want to really enjoy the lather on my face. And I was reminded about that the other day when I used a Semogue bore that had a lot of room in it. It wasn't a dense brush. And so that creamy lather was just able to be moved around my face. The high density options that we have out now, kind of like this Shave Mac here, they don't have as much room between the bristles for the lather. Well, this is a Maseto 24 millimeter Silvertp, just kind of the old school Silvertp. I love the Memphis handle, barber style kind of handle. It's been soaking for several minutes while I took a shower. It's a Silvertp. It's not treated in terms of the tips, and so it doesn't really need too much soaking. I like to do mine at about 3 minutes, but anything more is not going to deliver more benefit to you, but it's just not going to hurt anything as long as you don't soak it in hot water. All right. And here's the blade. The Nacet. Today is a landmark shave as well because if you look at the dots and count them up, that's 279 dots. This is the 280th shave. As you can see, I'm always careful not to touch the edges. I'm just assuming they're very fragile and that I should not risk tweaking them in any way. We still have that bend in the blade right up here. When I dropped it back on shave 225, that seems like just the other day, but it is quite a few numbers away. So the top cap here doesn't have the posts with the Guerilla, and so you can't just put the blade right there. I guess you could. It has the posts on the base plate. I'm going to take the dots, the 3 dots that are right there. I like to push those toward the handle because I'm orienting this one a certain direction, which is not normal for me. But I decided for this blade to try it and see if I discovered anything. Okay, it's a little trickier to load because of the posts being on the base plate, but that lets them have a very sleek, we don't have any posts coming through the base plate down here. It's a very sleek profile. Now, this Guerilla, not the open comb, but I guess just the solid bar as well, it's called the UAG by its casual acquaintances for Ugly Arse Guerilla. And a lot of people just didn't really get it, didn't really like it. I think it's because a lot of guys out there want something more aggressive, and they thought that, hey, I can get a Wolfman, and then they got it and it was too mild for them. Or they could have possibly not wanted to spend the time, or didn't know they needed to spend the time finding the angle. If you've got a smooth razor, if you've got a mild razor, if you like it, take the time. Spend the time to find the right angle. You may discover a smooth, comfortable shave that is just so different than your other shaving experiences. All right. I love this Mountain Man. So let's do a 35-second load because I want lots of lather. This is a mild razor, and so I bet I might have to do 5 passes. I'm fine with that today because I like this razor. I love having this soap on my face. So I'm going to be a happy camper. 0 is rolling around right there, so let's just put 35 seconds on the tub. We do kind of get an instant airiness. Keep going. It's 20 seconds. A few more. Oh, right, we're going to 35. There was 30. And there's 35. So quite a bit. Sterling is just the one to beat. If you've got a soap base you might like to bring to the market, if you can't outperform Sterling at the same price point, I kind of think what's the point? I mean, unless you're going to rely on a heavy sophistication of scents, because, you know, Sterling, that's kind of their weak point, but that's, I mean, big deal. I really enjoy, they have several cologne inspired scents like Arcadia, Sandpiper. I love those. Of course, there's Executive Man, Sharp Dressed Man, Gentleman Man, just tons. For Him, there's another one. In addition to the ones like Peach, Pharaoh's Dreamsicle, spicy ones like that, traditional ones like Sandalwood, Vanilla Sandalwood, Tobacco, and Vanilla, you know, those sort of things. Just got a whole big selection. So I think they are definitely somebody to make sure you need to be able to kind of compete with and or beat if you want to get into this market and be successful with it. Splash just a little bit of water on my face. My beard is hydrated because of the shower, so I don't need to worry about it as much as usual. Oh yes, it's coming up here. Oh, the City Slicker, that's another one that I really enjoy. I've got the aftershave on that one. I have so many Sterling soaps. Let's just go ahead and put 2 teaspoons in. Hey, why don't we go ahead and put 3? Some of my notes said that a 3 or a 3.5 teaspoons of water was kind of where I ended up happy. Some of them needed more, so I figured 3 might be a good shortcut. Starting point. And if you have a bowl and you start off with a larger quantity, like a few teaspoons, like you saw me do, start mixing slowly. Otherwise, you'll just knock the water out of the bowl. So yesterday's challenge for the particular shave was to just mention something, tell a story about something where somebody was generous with you. And so if you feel like being inspired, find the find yesterday's Lather Games thread, SOTD thread, and read through the challenges. People adding, I mean, some really neat ones. You know, one guy, a little boy actually saved his life at a public swimming pool. I mean, how awesome, how amazing is that? Everybody was around, but everybody was making kind of too much noise, and so nobody heard his cries for help. I'm going to put a whole nother teaspoon in, so that's 4 total now. And there's a couple more just significant stories like that. Just read one tonight where it was a guy he was just having some big family problems, and I think a death in the family. And then there was some kind of lawsuit involved, and the family didn't want to have to go through that. And some, you know, a guy, maybe a family friend, I'm afraid I didn't read with that much detail, but a man stepped up and took care of it, and they didn't have to worry about it. Then also you've got stories about people being generous with shaving supplies, guys just coming in, just starting out. Somebody says, hey, I'll send you this tub of X so you can try it out. Lather is looking terrific. Okay, let's check our consistency by kind of pulling part of it up. We don't have a super tall wall right there, and it collapses on itself, but it does it slowly. Also, look here. We don't have a bunch of hills and undulations, and it doesn't look like a ice cream cone with kind of rolls and layers. So that's a good sign. But Stirling is such a good soap that it really likes to be elastic and takes water and holds it in there, doesn't let it go, doesn't cause the lather to break down. We're nowhere near breaking down. So I am going to add some more water there. Almost 6 teaspoons. I guess we're at 5.5. There we go. All right, let's use that. Tons of awesome Stirling lather. My face wet. I guess about 24 hours worth of growth, probably a couple hours less. Big old poofy badger here. Comfy, soft. Just a fresh, type scent. Clean, clear. I can see why they named it Silver Mountain Water. So we're going to spend a couple minutes just working this lather in. Need to give it good skin contact before we start shaving. So it softens the whiskers, kind of connects and bonds with our skin. You can see you can actually use a little bit more water. Look at all that creamy goodness. 7 teaspoons of water. Feels great on the face. Scent is not super strong, but it's there. While I'm working the lather, I'd say it might be, 5 out of 10. In a way, I think Mountain Man might be a little bit of a misnomer, because I think of kind of a rugged scent with a stronger connection to like woods, maybe leather or something like that, rather than just a clean kind of crystal clear type scent. That's all right. So I just picked my favorites or things I just really enjoyed today to go with my Dupe soap. This is super comfortable. It's probably so comfortable that I may end up, not with a really close cut, but just really wanted to shave with it. Take some of the beard lather. And rinse. That's a good lather. Just felt creamy, protecting me really well. Brush just feels great. Soft, it's not floppy. $48, $45, that's all that brush costs. I think it's a really good option for badgers. I'm going to do another with the grain pass here. And your razor grip, in a sense it doesn't matter. Like right now, hold it like this. I almost never do that. You know what does matter? That you're holding it loosely. That your pressure is very minimal. That you're only coming at your face with enough pressure just to hold the razor on your skin. Not very much at all. That is more important than a certain kind of finger posture and arrangement. I do also let it move around. I don't, even if I'm holding it like this, I'm not actually supporting the bottom very much, and so it can move over the hills of my face instead of trying to plow through them. I don't like to have a spread out grip like this that, see, there's no way for the razor to move around and flex. All right, looks good. Let's rinse this. That is nice. So this lather, I'd say, is kind of on the dry side of perfect. I'm really enjoying it. It's rich, it's luxurious, feels great during the rinses. Could definitely go with more water though, if that was your preference. So now we'll do, after those first 2 passes of a with the grain, on my cheeks I'll do a cross grain. This is a stainless steel razor, and you can see the handle doesn't really have any contours. How am I able to grip it easily and securely, you might say? Well, I'll tell you. It is brushed stainless steel, kind of a matte look. It's not polished. And I believe what that's doing is it creates, I don't know if you could hear that noise, but it creates these tiny, tiny little striations with the metal. You don't even really even see them, but they're enough to grab onto you without even kind of knowing that you have such good grip. If it was polished, it'd be different. Let's take the goatee lather, and I'm going to come at it with an angle from right here. And this is why you can shave an area multiple times, because you have a light touch. And you make sure you put lather down. Helps us to not get irritation. All right, rinse. All right, fourth and final pass. Wouldn't have to do this if I didn't have an old smoothed out blade. But it just needs more time to work on those hairs. Man, that lather is just terrific. Cross grain again. Oh, see, now I am just sliding around here because the stubble has been taken down. I'm sorry about the white shirt. I think I figured out in past weeks that wearing a white shirt on the video causes the white balance to kind of get bright and dark and bright and dark, depending on how much of my white shirt was visible. So I may have to bring in another shirt just to be able to change into, just in case I, don't feel like running back and getting one. Now, since it's the last pass, I'm going to do that, and then do this one last time. And there we go. I love using this razor. The head also looks really good on the Weber Bulldog style handle too. All right, well, I wanted to mix up a good bit of lather, and I sure did. That was a 4-pass shave, and now look how elastic it is. That's great. And I've still got 3 or 4 passes left in here. This is superb. Okay. That is light. Feels just luxurious. It's wet. It's glistening. It's just so wet. And we've got it wet enough where it doesn't have as much viscosity as it might normally. It is resisting my squeezing in a general way, and so that's going to give you a nice luxury feel. But then the slickness there, when you've got good contact, is watery, but with a light buttery, oily kind of feel. Just really easy movement around. Just a beautiful lather. Let's do my little thing where I can look at the legs of it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that right there. That's hydrated nicely.
This may be kind of, I thought I started out with it. Oh, you know what? I did start out with it a little thicker, but then I added another
teaspoon of water or so. So we're looking at 7 teaspoons total for this shave, and I think that guy made it pretty much a perfect lather. Wonderful. Clean off my hands enough to push the pause button. It's only a 24 millimeter knot, but it has big splay. It really does. Kind of bats like a 26. And this is, of course, the bulb variety. And I just really enjoy it. Plenty of room between the bristles for the lather. Luxurious, soft, cloud-like feel on the face. Very nice. All right, let me get a good rinse in, and then I've got a balm I want to put on. Let's go with another dupe. The scent of the soap isn't meant to last much longer than the shave, and so it's the job of a balm to go maybe hour and a half, maybe 2 hours past your shave. And it's the alcohol splashes that are going to go even a little bit further than that. Anything beyond that, you're going to need to get a cologne, an EDT, eau de toilette, or an EDC, eau de cologne. Those are the guys that have the staying power. And this is another dupe from Stirling, Executive Man. That's Creed, another Creed scent, and this is Creed Aventus. Face is still kind of moist, and that's going to help the balm to spread easier. Great scent. I mean, some people kind of take the Aventus issue and they're like, I'm over that, you know. There's a reason it's so popular. I really like it. But I also have so many soaps that I cycle through that I don't use it as often, and so I'm not as likely to kind of get worn out on it, you know. All right, that smells great. Executive Man. So 35 seconds of loading with that soft Badger brush. 7 teaspoons of water was the ratio for today. And I think the Executive Man is taking off nicely where this guy left off. Really good. And I really think I'm going to enjoy this razor quite a bit once I'm able to step off the Nacet for a little while. Beautiful. Beautiful. Put all kinds of kind of younger normal blades in it and just play around, have fun. Well, there we go, 280. Can you believe that? We're just 20 away. Man, how about that? Love the soap scent. Fresh, clean. I think I may actually like maybe another one, some others out there that I like a little bit more than maybe some woody, spicier type scents, but I really do enjoy this one a lot. Love the Maseto, worked great, just like I wanted it to. Held tons of lather, soft feel on the face. Enjoying the Executive Man balm right now. And of course the Wolfman. Now, hey, let's check and look and see. Not bad. Several hairs with some length, but really not bad. It's presentable. I'll take it. Enjoyable 4 passes of great lather. All right. Hey guys, I sure hope that there's been something in this video that's going to help you out. You take care. Happy Lather Games. And I think we're on day 8 or 9 or something like that. Day 9, I think. And so not quite halfway there, almost a third of the way. It's really funny how these things go. All right, this is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care. We'll see you next time.